Alright, so we're looking here at the start of the sectional course at Warrenton. Went ahead and moved it up to double time since I rode it so slowly today on the bike. Starts out with about 150, 200 meters straightaway here, and then it'll move slightly to the left. And it'll get decently narrow, but with a small field that shouldn't be as big of an issue. At this point here we'll go into a nice little downhill, cross a gravel road, and now go uphill. This is a pretty steep uphill. The grass is cut nice and short there. They did a nice job preparing the course. And as you go up, you make a right turn, you go right back down it, right here into a 180-degree turn. They'll head you up towards the road, which again is a nice long uphill here. And along the road, I made a slightly wrong turn here, and I went a little to the left when in actuality I should have gone straight. I did it correctly the second time on this loop. But on the first time I'm going to be weaving in and out of trees, and I apologize, but I couldn't see the line at that point, and I saw an old marking and followed that instead of the correct one. Once you get up to the top here, it goes into a nice long downhill. And again, you'll be to the right of these trees. But a nice long downhill that once you turn around will come right back up. So this is where it matches back up to where I'm back on the course again. And again, it'll be right the second time. That last tree there's the 180-degree turn. And then you climb back up everything you just went down. A little bit different from the course map. You're going to go across the road a little bit earlier than what I thought it looked like on the map. Here I am crossing the road here, making a turn and then continuing that climb. Once you get back up, of course, it's back on that downhill, the same thing you climbed on the other side of the road, and you're going to make a left turn once you get back up to the school here. And this was where the footing was a little bit soft, and again, it rained a little bit more after I left. But this has got a little bit of a muddy spot there. Nothing too bad, but a little bit of mud. This is a little bit of a climb during this stretch, and it actually has a little short pop-up. Right here. This will be a pretty sharp turn, almost 180 degrees when you get to the end of this field. There's that turn, it heads back towards the softball field. And another turn just to stay on that outfield there. There's two different lines, but it looks like the one that we're going to follow is the one that stays straight there and doesn't add on a few extra meters there. So this is that loop around that field. Relatively flat stretch here as you go up to the road. And once you cross, there'll be a lot of zigging and zagging through this area here. And then we'll turn left. This is that same road from the start. This time we're going to turn left, and I'll have a pretty steep hill here in a few meters. The first time you go straight, but the second time you go to the finish, you'll just have about 70-80 meters straightaway. So there's that steep uphill. You can go straight. Barely made it up the hill there on the bike. This will be a few sharp turns around this gravel parking lot here. And this is going to head you right back behind the starting line and back out for loop 2. There's a little bit of a white X there to kind of keep you away from that fire hydrant a little bit. It's marked because it is pretty narrow in that stretch. There'll be 2 trees up here that you just split and then head on back out on the same thing you did before. So again, that was that starting straightaway, and then you veer to the left. Then down that hill towards the gravel road, and then you go back up. And there's that longer climb. Make a right and you go right back down it into that 180, which again goes towards that road that you do an out and back on. This time I'll actually follow the correct line and stay to the right of those trees, and you'll see it's a much easier path, much straighter path to follow than the one I took on the first time around. They did cut the grass on this course a few strips wide, but all the way around, so the grass is cut nice and short, ready to go. Again, so they climbed for a while up along the road, and then you go down for a while all the way to that turnaround spot. And here's where I met back up from my previous mistake on the course. Again, a nice long downhill before we make that 180-degree turn. Around this tree and heading back towards the school building. So now we're going back up that long gradual hill, crossing the road, and continuing up that hill. And this is right as you're getting to the top, that gradual downhill again, before you make that sharp left turn to head over to that baseball field circle that you make on the course. So now we're going back down. The end of this fence is where you make the left turn. Again, this is the sloppiest of the footing, and it was the same as you came back on the other side of this. It was just a little wet, and again, it rained a little bit after I left there today, but I don't think it'll be any worse than what it was today on Saturday. And here comes that short little hill here. When we get to the end of this, we'll make that tight turn, head towards the baseball field. Make that gradual right hand turn, and now we're running right along that short outfield grass there, and then heading back towards that parking lot. This is that opposite side of where I said the grass was a little sloppy. It's sloppy on this side as well, especially through the stretch as you get closer to the trees. But it brings into that zigzag stretch right here. And some turns to move through. We'll kind of go back over that gravel road you saw at the start. And then up that steep pop-up hill, and again probably about 70 or 80 meters to the finish now. So I go to climb this pop-up, the chain fell off the bike, so I kind of run it in, so it'll be a little bit slower there, but I think you'll get the idea. That's really the course, and a big thanks to Bill Lepak, a SLU dad here, who was willing to let me borrow his camera here. It says the chain fell off as I run on in. But that's the course. So thanks for watching.